like everywhere you turn these days, bam, generative AI.
Right.
It's writing stuff, it's making art, it's composing music.
It's wild.
Totally.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about how it works.
The nuts and bolts.
Yeah, exactly. We're going deeper. We're asking what happens to culture when AI gets this creative, you know? Like, what does that even mean? So there's this article, Cultural Innovation Driven by Personalized Generative AI Media, and it got us thinking.
Yeah.
It's not just about, cool new tech toys.
Yeah.
This could actually change how we experience culture itself.
Totally. How we share it, how we make it.
Yeah. So the article jumps right in saying Gen AI is more like a creative partner now.
More than just a tool, yeah.
Yeah. It gives this example with Spotify. Imagine AI writing music for any mood. Like you're feeling nostalgic, bam, AI writes you a nostalgic symphony. Stressed, you got your stress buster track.
It's like having a personal soundtrack to your life, constantly composing.
Right. What kind of music do you think AI would write for you?
Oh, man. Probably like a mix of like some really chill lo-fi beats for work, mixed with some kind of epic orchestral stuff because, well, I'm a little dramatic. What about you?
For me, it would be all over the place, like 80s synth pop 1 minute, then like some banjo bluegrass the next. It's fascinating though, right? Because it's not just like more music. The article talks about this huge potential for really specific niche stuff.
And that's huge,
Yeah.
especially for artists who maybe haven't had their voices heard as much. This could be a way for them to connect with their people.
That's actually a big point they make. Cultural decentralization.
Yeah.
Instead of like one big mainstream culture, we get all these little microcultures.
Each with their own art and music and like whole ways of seeing the world.
Exactly. And it gets, honestly, kind of spooky.
Oh, how so?
Well, the article talks about how platforms like Hotstar, I mean, you use Hotstar, right?
Yeah, all the time.
So they're using what they call advanced analytics,
Okay.
but it's more than just numbers. They're saying AI can almost predict what people want to watch.
For days.
Like it's figuring out not just what we watch, but what we feel while we're watching and suggesting stuff based on that. Kind of creepy, right?
It's just a little Big Brother-ish. Yeah.
Right. Like I like that Netflix can recommend something I might enjoy, but to know my feelings, I don't know about that.
Well, and think about it this way. What if the algorithm only ever shows you what it thinks you want to see?
Uh-oh.
You end up in this bubble, right? An echo chamber, never exposed to different opinions, different ideas.
Yeah. It's comfy, but maybe a little too comfy.
Right. And that's just one side of it.
And we haven't even touched on the whole VR and AR part of it.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole other rabbit hole.
The article says Gen AI isn't just making graphics better. It's like it's merging real and digital.
Blending those lines.
Yeah, like think about it. Instead of reading about ancient Rome, you could be walking the streets in VR.
Wow.
Seeing the Colosseum, feeling the cobblestones, maybe even smelling, like, I don't know, the Roman food.
It'd be like stepping back in time.
Totally. Or even just like work meetings. What if instead of being stuck in the office, you could have them on a virtual beach?
I'd be down for that.
Right. Who wouldn't be? But that brings up a whole bunch of other questions, doesn't it?
Like what?
Well, if these crazy immersive experiences become normal, who gets to have them? Is it only for people who can afford it?
It's like, will it be equally distributed? Or will it be another thing that divides us?
Right. And what happens to our sense of reality when we're spending more and more time in these perfect, simulated worlds?
It really makes you think, what is real then?
Whoa. Big questions, right? And that leads to the big one.
It's $1 million question.
If everyone can have their own custom culture, does mass culture even exist anymore?
Whoa. That's deep.
Will we, miss having those big shared experiences? The movies or songs that everyone knows.
Because everyone's off in their own little world.
Yeah. Or is this, super freeing? Finally, we're not all tied to the same mainstream culture.
Everyone can find their own people, their own little tribe.
I mean, it's already kind of happening online, isn't it? With different communities and fandoms and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the internet has already done a lot to connect people with niche interests.
Mm-hmm.
Gen AI could just be accelerating that. But yeah, does it bring us together or push us further apart?
So much to think about. But here's the thing that's really stuck with me. If you could have any experience custom made for you, what would it be? And what does that say about, where culture's headed? Something to chew on, right?